Hello, and welcome to Spirit Among Us. To end this week talking about abiding in Jesus, I'd like to look at another reason for us to abide. John chapter 15 verses 7 and 8. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. When we abide in Jesus, and when we bear fruit as a result of that, we bring glory to God. Now you may be asking, how is that? Why are we bringing God glory by doing that? Well, first we need to understand that on our own we can't make ourselves bear fruit. We can't make ourselves bear spiritual fruit. That can only come through Jesus Christ working in us. And so therefore, as a result of that, it makes sense that us bearing fruit would give evidence to God. It would give evidence of God working in our lives, and would give evidence of us abiding in Jesus. So when we encounter people day to day, when we come across other people who don't believe, who don't know Jesus, they can see us and they can see evidence of God through us. Because when we bear fruit by abiding in Him, we're showing the world that God has the ability to transform our hearts and lead us to a place of bearing fruit, of true change and transformation. That is what the world will see. When we grow spiritual fruit because of Jesus, the world has evidence of God's work. We have the ability to point more people to salvation and knowing the great love of God when we show how God has changed us. When others are able to see how God has transformed and worked in our lives and in our hearts, they too will be drawn to that source of change, that source of love that has purified us. So this is one way that God is glorified through us abiding in Jesus, because we give the world evidence of who God is and how He works in us. But the other way that God is glorified is by shining His light through us. Matthew chapter 5 verse 16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. God is able to radiate through our lives to touch the people we encounter. He is able to and chooses to use us as His light bearers on this earth. And what better way to know how to share God's light than by spending time in that light, by spending time abiding in Jesus? So to sum this up, when we abide in Jesus and bear fruit, we give the world evidence of who God is. But not only that, not only do we give the world evidence of who God is and how He works, but when we abide in Jesus, His light and love actually work through our lives to touch the hearts of others around us. We are vessels of the message of love and salvation that God has given us. We are the messengers here to share the good news to everyone, to share the true love of God. And the beginning of sharing that message with this world starts with abiding in Jesus. So as we stir up a desire to share God's love with the world, let us also stir up a desire to abide in Jesus. Because the more we abide in Him, the more God will work in our hearts and shine His light through us, and the more people will be drawn to Him through us. Thank you for watching, and God bless.